Hey guys, and welcome to a new episode of Losing My Virginity. This time it's going to be to Bloodborne, but mostly, well, 100% basically. It's going to be the Bloodborne character creator, which you find out later is kind of pointless because you don't really see your character. You're usually wearing some kind of garb that like covers to here or just covers your whole head, or you're wearing a hood or something. It's not really important at all that you use this or that you even make something that looks like you, or you have a lot of fun with it. But either way, anyone who knows me as a gamer knows that anytime I get to create a character, I spend ample amounts of time. Fuck, dude, I'm so out of it today. I've been playing fucking hours of Bloodborne. Like, I don't know how many hours I'm into that fucking game, but it's my newest obsession. It's the game that I've been the most obsessed about for a very long time, and I'm very amped because of it. I took a lot of caffeine. I have to stream after this, so I've been playing Bloodborne and trying not to get off the couch and do something other than that, but I want to fucking play League of Legends a little bit. I want to get off the couch a little bit, other than going to the gym. I haven't really been off the couch besides just playing Bloodborne. And when I was sick, all I was doing was playing Bloodborne, so that kind of helped me convalesce into the terror that I am today, and I'm going to try to be more articulate and stop fucking fumbling around. It's funny, I'm going to go off on a tangent randomly on these because, why not? I have a really long time to talk, and I'm going to be talking the entirety of the video instead of, you know, taking in the gameplay, because I'm not doing this live. The cool thing about the PlayStation 4 is it allows you to upload your gameplay, and then I can overlay some kind of commentary on top of it. A lot of people say, well, why don't you just, you know, stream from your PS4? Now, the thing about that is that the PS4 streaming capabilities, first of all, if you want to stream using your PC, you have to kind of have an extra PC or have a capture card or both, and that can be very annoying. And when most of the games are on PC anyway, and League is on PC, like, why would I do that when I don't really have to, and I can just upload from my PS4 and overlay commentary on top of it? And a lot of you guys like the commentary that I do overlaying on top of gameplay more than the live commentary, because I can actually focus on what I'm saying, and I don't have to focus on, you know, playing the game, which is actually kind of hard. If you haven't ever tried to do it, have a sequence of conversations that are actually intelligible while you're trying to play a video game, especially when it gets hard. I almost said especially. Like, my mouth feels like it needs liquid in it. Not that kind of liquid. It needs, like, regular water in it. I feel dehydrated, and I feel tired, and I feel like I'm getting frenzied. Haha, fucking Bloodborne joke. I feel like my life is revolving around Bloodborne lately. But anyway, what I was going to tell you is, yeah, this isn't live, the commentary is overlaid, but that makes for more interesting commentary a bunch of times. So, what I was going to talk about was, what was I going to talk about? I fucking have no clue. Anyway, so, we were trying to make this character look like my roommate Jay, and it's very crazy. Let's get the racism out of the way. You cannot make these characters not look a little bit Asian. And even the NPCs that you encounter in the game, they look very Final Fantasy-ish, and obviously this is a Japanese-made game, so that makes sense. Miyazaki made the characters look in the very, you know, Japanese video game style, and it's really cool, and that makes for really amazing video games. But at the same time, it's really awful for the character creator when I'm trying to make a European man and an American woman. After this, I'll show you a little bit of footage of the second. I made a second profile where I made myself, and I played a little bit with the threaded cane because I hadn't gotten to play with threaded cane at the point of me making my own character, and I wanted to see how much like me I could make it. But it ended up just looking like a fucking weird Asian/Russian hooker, and I could never make it any better. And the eyes, like, never could be as round as mine. They always stayed kind of like cat eyes or oval eyes or something, or like almond, I think is what they actually call it, what the correct name would be called when you go to, like, okay, so I went to modeling school when I was younger. My mom put me in modeling school because I was interested in it, and we got to learn all of the different face shapes. We got to learn all of the different complexions that are good with certain colors of hair, yada yada, and we learned the proper name for things like shapes of eyes. So we have round eyes and almond eyes. Almond eyes are, you know, more typically found on a person of Asian descent, and so yeah, you can't make non-almond eyes in this game. And it was very, very hard to make someone who looks like anyone I know, especially because I feel like Jay is a very unique-looking person. I'm a very unique-looking person. We both have unique styles. And it's very hard to make a face that actually looks like us. So I was doing my best to make one that looks like him, and at the end I think I did it pretty well. It looks a lot like him, not like perfect, but it does. And then what I found really funny about this character creator is if you go and you choose body size, And you go like very bulky. Okay, like right now the guy I have chosen is very bulky. What? Okay, Japan, have you ever seen your own Hidetada Yamagishi? He's a fucking beast. He's a bodybuilder professionally. He's like 5'4". I've taken pictures of him before. He's a pretty cool dude. But that is very bulky or very burly or whatever the terminology is that's used in the game. This is not. It barely changes. Like, it's so the different settings for body size are so inconsequential that I like blink and I miss the changes when I'm switching between them, which is fucking crazy. And when I made myself with the I drug the chest all the way to the biggest, and then everything else was the skinniest. And I found that to be very funny because then I had a little bit more boobage when underneath the clothes, but like when I take the clothes off, it's like I have a giant rib cage, very little boobs, and then this like old woman looking body. So I don't really and okay, so when I first started playing the game, I thought I wouldn't like it because the very first area where you are walking down to get your very first lantern and you get all the tips from messengers and stuff, the arm movement and the way that he punched was very awkward to me. It made it look like half the time he had like enormously long arms and like everything else is just out of proportion and very weird. And another thing, like I'm doing this right now in the video, but the lip size and the lip stuff just doesn't make any sense. Protrusion of lips doesn't actually change the protrusion of lips, and there's a bunch of different things that just do the exact same thing, and none of it is actually, you know, colloquial, and if it is, it's not actually what it doesn't correspond to the same thing that you would think. Like lip protrusion should be like how far out your lips go, but instead it's like how far down it pulls the bottom lip. And then if you don't have a happy face expression, your lips get so puckered and weird that it's like you have no fucking lips. Okay, so if you want to make a demon-looking creature in this game, you very much can by just making yourself look sad, putting like a crazy hair color on and crazy eye color, and there you go. You have a fucking weird-ass demon. What I recommend, if you want your character to stand out in certain different outfits and stuff, I recommend actually changing the hair color to something crazy, because the only thing that I recognized when I made my Terry character was that it has platinum blonde hair, and you can see that in almost everything except for something that's hood-like, which you do start out in a hood, but I immediately got a better thing that's like a more of like a sailor-type hat with the thing around the face, and the hair's out, and it looks really cool, and when you close up you can see that the eyes are cool and stuff like that. But other than that, it's crazy how many options are in the customization of the character when you're not really going to see the details of the character up close literally ever. And even when you can, like even when you get stuck in a door and you get to turn around and see yourself, or you like take a screenshot of something, you're still wearing like a lot of clothes for, you know, the defense and all that stuff. So you're not really seeing anything. And they cover your face a lot in this game. They cover your head a lot in this game. You can't really go without a helmet usually unless you wear like the ponytail, the knight's ponytail, which is like a gray ponytail with like a ribbon. It's, oh my god. But something I really want to do with this game, I have tons and tons of videos, like beating the first boss, beating the second boss, getting to the secret areas. At some points in this game, I started using a guide for certain things because I didn't want to miss anything, and that's something I actually enjoy, following like a perfect guide to get to the things that I like, but then other times I like to explore it on my own and not have any help at all, and I kind of like self-taught and looked up a bunch of like how the stat scaling works and stuff like that. So this game is very complex in that it doesn't really have much of a tutorial at all. Like, you're just, the messengers are just kind of like holding up a note that says some shit, and half the time it's story related and very cryptic. And the story in this game is very few and far between and also cryptic, but it's a really, really cool story. And if you get really into it, you should look online and see a lot of the interpretations of a bunch of the things that happen in this game. But I am very, very into this game right now. I'm very excited to make more content for this game because I feel like I can make really cool videos. There's not a lot of dialogue, so I can talk a lot in the videos that I make, and I can talk over a lot of the gameplay, and it's not going to be bothersome. Like, when I was playing Shadow of Mordor, there was a lot of dialogue, like, in the DLC, Celebrimbor would, like, go back and forth with Sauron and, like, talk shit and stuff, and I would have to be like, oh, let's watch this. And there was a lot of like cutscenes that involved talking and speaking and a lot of story, sometimes really long story. Same with Witcher and a bunch of other games. It's just like harder for me to do commentary over if I'm not just like playing the game, because when I'm playing the game it makes sense for me to be quiet. I'm sitting there, I'm quiet, I'm taking in the game, and it's not awkward. But when I'm doing these kinds of videos where I'm just overlaying what I'm thinking and stuff, or what I want to talk about in terms of the game, it's kind of weird when I have to stop and not talk for a period of time because there's some kind of cutscene or something that I want you guys to see because I want you guys to watch the videos and, you know, partake in a little bit of the game's content with me. But something that's really cool about Bloodborne is there isn't much of that. So it's basically just like strategy on how to fight bosses, and I can actually make videos on strategies of how to fight bosses. And I actually was thinking about just taking about 20 minutes or maybe even 10 minutes, maybe less, I don't know, of just random gameplay from Bloodborne and doing like tips for Bloodborne, like a tips for Bloodborne video. Would you guys be interested in that? I think it would be really cool. And I have a lot of awesome tips that I either discovered through the game that'll help you a lot. And it's like seeing myself from day one playing Bloodborne and seeing myself playing Bloodborne now is like, oh my god, there are so many things that I didn't know, so many little nuances that that are not at all apparent in the game, that you do have to figure out if you want like the full experience. And there are so many fucking secrets. Like some points you just don't get to see certain things if you don't look it up or you don't get incredibly lucky. And if you get incredibly lucky on one portion of it, you're not going to get incredibly lucky on the second portion of it, which, you know, furthers like a quest line with Alfred or something like that. It's just like really, really cool, really, really intricate, and that's why people buy those big ass fucking sometimes hardcover guides on how to fucking play the game, because it's like that crazy. But you can see at this point we're getting a little bit more toward it looking like Jay, except the bottom lip protrusion is just crazy. He's like maniacally angry and happy at the same time, which is cool, especially for like a hunter. But it's pretty weird that you can't make it not like that. And I found that it happened the same way for when I was making the Terra avatar. It was very evil, demon-y, which is not, you know, untrue to the real Terra, but I'm not like all the time, like that just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, how many of you guys have played Bloodborne? Have you gotten all the way through it? Have you, you know, done like New Game Plus? What is your favorite weapon? My favorite is Ludwig. Ludwig's fucking trick weapon. And what other things do you like about this game? Have you tried the PvP? I have yet to try the PvP. I've yet to do the Chalice dungeons. I haven't done any of the Chalice dungeons. And there's still a lot more of the story to do. Like, I haven't finished the game yet. I still have like a couple more, I think 3 more areas or something, and then I want to do, there are 3 endings, I believe, to this game, and I want to do all 3 endings. It's been a while since I've played a lot of console games, and if you watched the video I uploaded yesterday with like kind of my origin of playing games and how it kind of evolved throughout the years from mainly like 100% console to mainly PC to like 50-50, and then I can make content with my PS4 and make content with my PC games. It's a pretty interesting video, but it also details like how much I love Bloodborne right now and all the things that I've done and want to do. And it's really exciting. It's funny that you can choose the length and like curvature of fucking eyelashes in this game. When the fuck are you gonna see that? Like, you're never gonna see that unless you're like head first into a door that you haven't opened yet, and you turn the camera around, and then you get like a really worse graphics version of this. The one thing I didn't change to make the character look more like Jay is I forgot that, because you can't even really tell here, but I forgot that his eyes are blue here, and Jay's eyes aren't blue, they're brown, which is, you know, my preference in men, so that's good. But I do notice in the game more when eyes are blue. Like, I made my character's eyes have like really, 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 really blue eyes, like I do have, but then in the game they're even more like ocean, like vibrant, crazy blue. So that's also something to remember. It's kind of weird that you can't do like height. So all of the hunters in this game, especially when they're not wearing like a big, like long roby garb, like if they're not wearing something like the executioner's garb or the crow set or whatever, then you can kind of see like the like trousers and stuff. They look like they have really, really long legs and really, really short torsos. Like you can see here a little bit of like he looks kind of buff here, but in the game he doesn't really look that buff. And this is supposedly very burly. Like, see, you can see right here, like, what I'm doing is I'm, like, comparing, like, to see, like, is this even fucking different? What do these even do? And I'm, like, trying to see what actually makes it different. I didn't really try extra tiny, but this is, like, cut at best. And he's got kind of, like, an older-looking physique, if you know what I mean. But then we chose that the age should be young, so it's, like, kind of weird. And here's where we cut over to, I gave the controller to Jay, and I'm like, okay, you want to make it better? Because he was talking about how it looks nothing like him, and it looks really stupid, so I let him try to mesh it out. One thing that's also really annoying, but also kind of cool, is that you get RGB for changing the color of things. So instead of just getting to choose between 3 different blondes, 3 different browns, 3 different blacks, and then maybe like a host of random crazy colors like bright red or green or blue, you actually have to do the mixer, which I'm semi-familiar with because I've edited a lot of things in my lifetime with Photoshop, and I've done a lot of photo editing, and I've made a lot of thumbnails, and I've changed a lot of colors of things. Like I have a picture that I use often for the thumbnails of my PS4 gameplay, which I think I'm going to stop doing now because I don't like how they all look like they're from the same set or whatever, but that's beside the point. That picture is actually pink hair, but I like captured everything and then changed it to green hair because I'm like, dude, nobody's gonna even know it's me because I don't have iconically cotton candy pink hair like I did at one point in my life. So, even though I'm familiar with it, it is kind of hard to get a very specific color. Like as you can see right here, Jay's like eyes and, or not eyes, eyebrows and hair are kind of like different than his beard, like blackish, reddish, something or other. And I was trying to get brown. It's really hard to get the neutral colors like brown or white or gray or black. Well, black's not hard. And white wouldn't be hard, but like grayish or platinum blonde, which I had to do. It's kind of hard to do with the sliders. It's like, oh, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, I figured it out, and I got a platinum blonde fucking Terra, which I will show you after this is done in a couple seconds. But, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a weird-ass losing my virginity. It's not usually how I do it, and there isn't really that much gameplay, but rest assured, there is going to be a fuck ton of very nice, very succinct walkthrough kind of Bloodborne videos, and I'm really excited about that. It's the most exciting thing in my gamer life right now, playing Bloodborne. It's also the most exciting thing in my content producing life right now because I'm really excited about the way that I'm going to be able to produce helpful walkthrough style content for Bloodborne, and it's like, it's shaping up to be my favorite game of the year, and I thought The Last of Us was fucking amazing. I loved Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. It's fucking great. And I cannot wait for Final Fantasy 15, but that was just a demo that I played, so it's not like I can attest to how amazing it is yet, and we don't know, maybe they're like yanking our chain, or it'll get 10 times better, or it'll completely change and I won't like it anymore. It was a little bit frustrating, Final Fantasy 15, so I can't say whether or not I'm absolutely in love with it yet, but the graphics and the fact that it feels like an older Final Fantasy, I am very much in love with. So, yeah, in a couple seconds here, well, I guess it's a little bit longer than that, I can't really tell, the thing is like moving. I like watch the video on my other monitor while I record my commentary side by side, so like I know exactly what I'm watching while I'm talking and what's going to be overlaid, so I can tell you guys like, oh, look right here, I'm doing this and that. But yeah, Jay's discovering that eye position is not something that has restrictions in reality here. Yeah, I think that's about it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, make sure you check out more of my losing my virginity videos on playing games for the very first time, and expect a fuck ton of Bloodborne videos. The next video I'll probably have up is fighting the Cleric Beast, the very first boss in the game, and just kind of talking about how you can beat it, how I beat it, like its difficulty, and just showing you exactly what happened in my game. And succinct little videos. They're going to be very, very much shorter. Like a maximum of 10 minutes, a minimum of like 1 or 2 actually, and it'll be great. Lots of Bloodborne content. Yeah, so don't forget to check those out. I think I'll do them every other day. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, what follows is a little bit of footage of the Terra avatar that looks like a Russian Asian prostitute. And yeah, well, I guess Russia is in Asia, so it's like the same thing. But like, super fucking Southeast Asian looking, and then like very, you know, weird European features. And you'll get to see that now. I'll leave you to that. Bye guys.